My 30th birthday landed on a Saturday. No one called. No messages. At 4:12 p.m., I got a group text. Family dinner tonight. Bring wine if you show. Then a follow-up from my aunt. Don't make it about you. I arrived quietly, placed a bottle on the table, and handed my mom an envelope. Rent bill, I said. Your name's still on the account. Then I left. At 7:03 p.m., mid-cake, the lights went out. My sister shouted, "Who does this on a birthday?" I just turned off my phone. At 4:12 p.m., my phone buzzed. Family dinner tonight. Bring wine if you show. That was it. No happy birthday. No emoji. No we love you. Just a logistics note like I was the delivery guy. A minute later, another ping. Aunt Denise. Don't make it about you. I stared at the screen for a full minute, the kind of stare where your brain just flatlines. My 30th birthday. A milestone. And not one person in my family had said a word until now. It had been radio silence all day. No calls. No messages. Not even a lame forwarded meme from mom. For years, I'd been the one to plan birthdays, book dinners, remind everyone of anniversaries. I remembered Chloe's kindergarten graduation, Kevin's promotion, even Dad's retirement dinner that turned into a roast of me somehow. And now? Nothing. They only remembered me when they needed something. And apparently, today, what they needed was wine. I almost didn't go. I almost stayed curled up on my couch, watching reruns and letting the pizza I ordered burn in the oven just to feel something. But something in me, maybe pride, maybe anger, decided to show up anyway. I didn't text back, didn't say I was coming. Just walked in quietly at 5:03 p.m. with a bottle of red in one hand and an envelope in the other. My mother barely looked up from the stove. "Oh, hey," she said like I'd just come home from work. "Did you bring wine?" I placed the bottle on the table, then handed her the envelope. "Rent bill," I said, voice flat. "Your name's still on the account." She opened it, frowned at the numbers. I didn't wait for a reaction. I turned around and walked out. No one stopped me. At 7:03 p.m., when the lights went out and the cake knife hit the floor, my sister shouted, "Who does this on a birthday?" I just turned off my phone. Growing up, I was always the dependable one, the fixer, the one who quietly cleaned up messes I didn't make. I was the family's unofficial accountant by 15, the designated driver by 16, and the go-to babysitter for my cousin Chloe by the time I hit college. My reward? Hand-me-down guilt and a never-expiring tab of unspoken obligations. My sister, Rachel, got the spotlight. She was the fun one, the spontaneous one, the "oh my god she's so creative" one. She dropped out of college twice, found herself in 3 different European countries, and somehow still ended up moving back into mom and dad's house like a boomerang coated in glitter. She didn't pay rent, didn't help with bills, but every time she came home with a new hair color and a half-baked idea for a vegan candle business, the family acted like she'd discovered fire. I, on the other hand, had been paying my mother's utility bills for 4 years. Yeah, you read that right. Her name was still on the account from when I took over the lease. When she temporarily moved out and left the apartment to me, she said, "Just keep it running till I get back on my feet." That was in 2019. I paid every gas bill, every electric charge, every overdue water notice. And whenever I brought it up, she'd wave it off like I was being petty. "You're the one with a good job," she'd say. "You can handle it." Dad wasn't better. He retired early to focus on woodworking, which really meant spending hours in the garage making dust and debt. The last time I suggested he sell one of his collector guitars to help cover mom's medical copay, he told me, "That guitar is older than you. You don't just sell family." Funny, I thought I was family. Even Aunt Denise, my sarcastic, wine-slinging godmother, joined the chorus of gaslighting when I stopped sending birthday money to Chloe after Rachel got a second DUI. "You're punishing the child for the mother's mistakes," she snapped over Thanksgiving stuffing. "No," I'd replied, my voice shaking with barely contained fury. "I'm just done paying for chaos I didn't cause." But no one heard me. Or maybe they did, and just didn't care. By last year, I'd stopped volunteering to host Christmas, stopped bringing dishes to Easter, stopped pretending I wasn't suffocating under the weight of everyone else's expectations. And they noticed. Oh, they noticed. Not because they missed me, but because they missed my contributions. "Are you okay?" Mom asked once when I skipped a birthday dinner. I almost laughed. "I'm fine. Just tired." "Well, don't be dramatic." There it was. The family motto. So when my 30th birthday came around and no one said a single word until that group text at 4:12 p.m., it didn't feel like a surprise. It felt like confirmation. Confirmation that I only mattered when I was useful. That's why I showed up. That's why I handed my mother that envelope with the rent bill and walked out. Not to make a scene, but because it was the first time in my entire life that I made an appearance without offering myself on a silver platter. And that, apparently, was the real crime. Because at exactly 6:47 p.m., my phone buzzed again. This time, a personal message from Rachel. You're being awful right now, seriously. It's your birthday, and you're making everyone uncomfortable. Why can't you just enjoy yourself for once? Enjoy myself? You mean like when I paid the heating bill in February so they could keep watching Netflix? Or when I spent Christmas Eve fixing the leak in Aunt Denise's bathroom while everyone else sang carols? I didn't reply. At 6:59 p.m., Aunt Denise sent another. Whatever stunt you're pulling, stop it. Your mom's crying now. Cry me a river. I was still in my apartment when the last message came through. It was a photo. The family, around the dining table, holding cake slices and plastic wine glasses. Rachel had her middle finger up. Chloe was making a duck face. My mom was half smiling, red-eyed, holding the envelope like it was radioactive. The caption? This is what you're missing. Happy birthday. That's when I made the decision. I pulled up the utility company's website, logged into the account, and disconnected the power. The lights went out at exactly 7:03 p.m. Not a flicker, not a slow dimming. Just gone. Darkness slammed into that house like divine punctuation. Like someone up there said, enough. I didn't plan the timing, but I also didn't stop it. I'd been hovering over the disconnect button for a good hour, watching the clock, watching the messages pile in, watching my silence get louder. And when I finally pressed it, it was like pressing reset on my soul. The moment it happened, my phone exploded with pings like it had caught fire. First it was Rachel. What is going on? Did you seriously just cut the power? Then Aunt Denise. Everything just shut down mid-slice. If this is some birthday tantrum, grow up. Then my mother, ever the peacekeeper in public, ever the martyr in private. Is this some kind of outage? What's happening? Are you safe? I didn't respond. Let them sit with it for a while. I finally reclaimed my boundaries. Because that's what I'd been to them for years. The silent generator. Always running in the background, keeping everything warm and functioning while they toasted marshmallows on my patience. Another text. Rachel again. Chloe's crying. She's scared. You happy? I stared at that one. Chloe. My niece. 7 years old. The same child I'd read bedtime stories to when Rachel couldn't stay awake. The one who thought I was a superhero because I always showed up. School plays. Parent nights. Even her first swim class when Rachel forgot. And now they were using her as a shield. I turned off my phone. I didn't need to read what I already knew was coming next. The anger. The guilt trips. The crocodile tears. The accusations. The knock came 6 minutes later. Hard. Urgent. Knuckles like hammers. I didn't move. Then I heard it. Her voice. Rachel. Open the door. No. Slammed the door with her voice. Open the door. Still, I didn't move. My heart thudded like it was trying to punch its way out of my chest. But I waited. More pounding. I know you did this. You turned off the power? On your own birthday? Who does that? I stood, walked to the door, unlocked it, and opened it just enough to see her face. Her hair was a mess. She still wore that fake party hat like a mocking crown. Mascara streaked down one cheek, and she was holding a plastic plate with a drooping slice of cake and a half-lit candle. It flickered wildly in the hall light. You're a completely unhinged, she said. I stepped into the hallway. Calm, controlled, voice steady. Did the lights go out before or after the song? She blinked. What? The singing. Did you at least get to the part where you pretended to care? She scoffed. You're unbelievable. No, you're unbelievable. You all are. I've paid Mom's utilities for 4 years, Rachel. For years. Rent, gas, internet. And not once, did she offer to change the name on the account or cover it herself. She's going through stuff. We're all going through stuff. But when you do it, it's finding yourself. When I do it, I'm a buzzkill. She waved the plate toward me. You really think this makes you look like the bigger person? Ruining the evening for attention because what? Nobody hugged you hard enough. No, I think I finally had enough. And it just happened to be today. Rachel's voice dipped into something lower. Crueler. Mom's crying now. You know that, right? She's sitting in the dark, sobbing. Because of you. I nodded slowly. Good. Maybe she can use the tears to boil water. Since the kettle doesn't work now. Her mouth opened, then closed. She looked genuinely stunned. I stepped closer. My voice was low, but sharp enough to cut bone. You want to know what's actually pathetic? Planning a birthday dinner for someone you can't even text at noon. Ordering a cake and not remembering what their favorite flavor is. Using their milestone as a backdrop for your selfies. It wasn't about you, she hissed. I laughed, sharp, bitter. Exactly. It never is. She narrowed her eyes. You think this makes you some hero? Standing here all cold and righteous while the rest of us sit in the dark. I tilted my head. I think I finally stopped being your free battery. That's all. She shook her head. No. You're lashing out because you're hurt. You've been bitter since we were kids. Right, I said. Because I didn't get applause for mediocrity. Because I didn't get bailed out after every mess. Because I grew up thinking being quiet made me good, and being useful made me loved. She didn't say anything. I kept going. But now I know better. Being useful only made me invisible. Until I stopped being useful. And then suddenly I'm the villain. She crossed her arms. You done? No, I said. Not even close. I pulled out my phone, turned it back on, and showed her the screen. The utility company app. The confirmation. I didn't just turn off the lights, I said. I removed my name. Permanently. Her eyes widened. That account's closed. If Mom wants electricity, she can sign up like an adult. Like the rest of us. She doesn't know how to. She knew how to put me on the bill. She can figure out how to take herself off the couch. You're gonna regret this, Rachel muttered. No, I said. I'm finally starting to breathe. I closed the door. Behind it, I could still hear her yelling. The heavy stomp of her boots. The ding of the elevator. But I didn't open it again. Instead, I stood in the silence. In the dark. In the peace I'd created. For the first time in years, I felt light. Not because I'd won, but because I'd finally stopped losing. The silence after the storm was almost louder than the shouting. Once Rachel left my hallway, there were no more knocks. No more angry texts. No group calls. Just vacuum. The power stayed off at Mom's place for 2 full days. I didn't ask. Didn't check. Didn't offer help. But I saw the posts. A blurry photo of a candlelit table. Chloe holding a flashlight under her chin, making ghost faces. Aunt Denise writing, family bonding time. Thanks to someone's tantrum. I didn't react. Instead, I did something radical. I went for a walk. Alone. No phone. No just-in-case mindset. Just me, in a hoodie, and streets I never noticed before because I was too busy replying to family emergencies. That evening, I came back to an inbox stuffed with guilt confetti. From Mom. I know you're upset, honey. I just wish you'd talk to me before doing something so extreme. I miss you. From Rachel. Hope you're happy. Chloe's scared of the dark now. Therapy's expensive. From Aunt Denise. What happened to you? You used to be the good one. Now you're cold. There it was. Used to be the good one. Not caring, not compassionate. Just good. Meaning obedient, quiet, useful. And now I was none of those things. But for the first time, I didn't feel like a villain. I felt awake. The real aftermath began on Wednesday. I got home from work to find my mom sitting on the steps of my apartment building. No warning. No text. Just her, with a jacket too light for the weather and that look. The one she wore when she wanted to seem fragile but in control. I stopped. Took a breath. Let the wind whip past us before saying anything. Why are you here? I needed to see you, she said. You haven't answered my calls. You think maybe I needed that time? She looked down. I was hurt. Hurt. I laughed, cold and sharp. You got hurt after 30 years of letting me carry everything in silence. She opened her mouth, then closed it. Then sighed. Rachel's upset. Oh, Rachel's upset. Must be Wednesday. She says you humiliated her. That Chloe is being used as a prop. Again. That stunned her. I kept going. Let's be real. You didn't come here for a heart-to-heart. You came because the lights went off and you don't know what to do without me. That's not true, she whispered. But I could hear the crack in it. Isn't it? Who helped you move after the divorce? Who paid the overdue bill when you overdrew your account? Again? Who signed you up for your insurance renewal last fall? She looked away. You've built your survival on my back. And for years, I let you. Because I thought that's what love looked like. Sacrifice. Service. Silence. Tears welled in her eyes. I didn't flinch. I'm not mad you needed help, I said. I'm mad you expected it like oxygen. And the one time I withheld it, not out of spite, but out of self-preservation, suddenly I'm the bad guy. She sniffled. It wasn't meant to be like this. No, I agreed. It was meant to be worse. Because I was never supposed to fight back. She left with no apology. No hug. No dramatic collapse. Just quiet retreat. And that's when I realized something. They didn't want reconciliation. They wanted restoration. They wanted me back in line. But that line, that role, it was dead. By the weekend, I started hearing from extended family. Uncle Mike, heard you cut the power? Wow, that's cold. Cousin Aaron, you okay? Want to grab coffee? The contrast was interesting. Some scolded, some poked, but a few, just a few, were curious. Genuinely curious. Aaron and I met at a cafe Sunday morning. She was always the quiet cousin. Middle child. Underestimated. Now she managed 2 shifts at a hospital and still smiled like she wasn't drowning. You look better, she said, stirring her tea. I feel strange. Like I finally screamed after being underwater for too long. She nodded. Takes a while to realize silence isn't peace. We talked for 2 hours. About family, guilt, generational roles. About how certain people are born into service positions in the family and never told they can quit. Rachel's furious, Aaron said near the end. Says you humiliated her. But honestly, she leaned in. I think she's scared. Of what? That you figured it out, she said. And now the rest of us might, too. Later that night, I checked the family group chat. Dozens of new messages. Someone had made a joke about mom getting a battery-powered personality. Someone else had posted a meme of a light bulb crying. Passive aggression wrapped in humor, the family brand. But this time, I didn't feel sucked into it. I wasn't angry. I was done. On Monday, I sent an email to the landlord. I officially removed my mother from all utility accounts. I updated the lease. I gave notice that, by the end of the month, I'd be moving to a new unit across town, smaller, cheaper mine. No more inherited responsibilities. No more names on my bills, but mine. The final message came Thursday. It was from Rachel. Not a group text. Not a meme. A real message. Just 3 words. You changed. Congrats. I stared at it. No sarcasm. No venom. Just resignation. And maybe, just maybe, a touch of respect. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. Because she was right. I had changed. And for the first time in my life, I wasn't sorry for it. 2 weeks after the lights went out, I moved. Not across the country. Not to some Instagrammable beach house or remote cabin in the woods. Just 12 blocks away. But it felt like a continent. The new place was smaller. Quieter. Just 1 bedroom. A tiny balcony. And walls that didn't echo with obligation. No one helped me move. No family support. No casserole drop-offs. Just me, 3 suitcases, and the sound of my own breath finally feeling like mine. For the first few nights, I kept expecting my phone to ring. Some crisis. Some last-ditch manipulation. But all I got was silence. And you know what? It was beautiful. No one needed rent. No one needed rides. No one needed me. And for the first time since I was 15, I wasn't afraid of that. I started small. Morning walks without my phone. Buying groceries I actually wanted, not budgeting to send extra to mom, just in case. I even joined a gym. Not for aesthetics, but because I liked the idea of getting stronger. Stronger than I'd been. Stronger than they ever let me be. One evening, I opened my email and found a message from the power company. It was addressed to my mother, but sent to me. A glitch in the system, probably. It said, payment past due. Account closed. Please contact support to reopen services. I stared at it. Felt that old reflex kick in, guilt, worry, the trained instinct to fix. But instead of replying, I forwarded it to her. No note. No hey, just FYI. Just forward. 5 minutes later, she called. I didn't answer. She texted. I didn't know who else to ask. I texted back. Start with yourself. She never replied. And I never felt lighter. 2 months passed. Then 3. I didn't attend the family Easter brunch. Didn't send money for Chloe's dance recital shoes. Didn't get tagged in any group selfies or added to any surprise Zooms. For the first time, I didn't exist as a utility. And still, I existed. In fact, I thrived. I started therapy. My therapist, a calm, deeply sarcastic man named Brian, asked me in the first session, "Why are you here?" I laughed, then cried, then told him everything. About the lights, the messages, the wait, The silence. About being the good one until I snapped. And you know what he said? He leaned back, smiled, and said, "Congratulations. You just broke a generational curse." At month 4, something strange happened. I got a letter, an actual handwritten envelope. No return address. Inside was a folded piece of notebook paper. It read, "You were right. I'm sorry. I'm trying to fix it. R. No name. But I knew. Rachel." I sat with that note for hours. There was no request, no manipulation, just something that might have been growth, or guilt, or both. I didn't write back, but I didn't throw it away either. I tucked it into my drawer, next to my lease, my new utility bills, my silence. The final moment came on a rainy Sunday. I was walking home from the gym, hoodie soaked, headphones in. A woman stopped me outside a cafe. Blonde hair, nervous eyes. It was Alex's ex, the girl Rachel used to call deadweight. "Hey," she said awkwardly. "You probably don't remember me, but I used to date your sister's friend." I nodded. She smiled shyly. "I just wanted to say, I saw what happened. The whole thing with the power. The fallout. And I wish I had done that when I had the chance." I blinked. Done what? Stopped the cycle. Said no. Left. Instead, I just kept folding into their drama until I disappeared. I didn't know what to say, but she did. She squeezed my hand gently. "Thank you," she whispered, then left. Just like that. When I got home, I poured a glass of wine, lit a candle, sat on my tiny balcony, and watched the rain smear the city lights. And for the first time, I let myself feel everything. The rage, the grief, the freedom. I wasn't broken. I wasn't cruel. I wasn't too cold. I was just someone who finally stopped bleeding for people who called it love. So what did I learn? That boundaries aren't walls. They're doors you close to keep the wind from swallowing you. That silence can be peace. That no is a complete sentence. That when the lights go out, sometimes it's not sabotage. Sometimes it's the beginning of finally seeing things clearly. Today, I'm 30 in 2 months. And I feel like I was just born. They still talk, I'm sure. Still frame it as a betrayal. Still tell stories that cast me as the villain. But I don't flinch anymore. Because I know the truth. I didn't cut them off. I cut myself free. And does freedom look good in the dark?